Good afternoon, Kardec radio listeners. Welcome. My name is Nahur Fonsenca, and I'm going to be your host for now. Um, I was born in Brazil. I moved to the United States in 2002. I went to Boston University and studied graduate school there. I have a doctorate in computer science, and since I moved to the United States, I have joined the Allan Kardec Spiritist Society of Massachusetts, where I coordinated the youth group for many years, and now I'm one of the coordinators of the English group, where we have our weekly meetings in the English language. When I came, I met a group of Spiritist educators from New York, from Connecticut. Eduardo Guimarães, you may know him. Mika from Connecticut, Jenny and Elder from New York as well. And we got together in a beautiful park in Connecticut. And we had this idea, what if we could invite young people from all Spiritist centers in our towns for a day in the park and create an event for them. So today, in the 9 years anniversary of the Kardec radio station, we are going to talk about a little bit of the history and the present of the Family Spiritist Retreat, which is a yearly event that serves the families of the region of New England in the United States. And this year there is a little twist, and we're going to show to you very soon. We always found very important to create this event for the youth so they would have a sense of self-image about being Spiritist in the United States. Many of the young people who go to our events are the few or the only one sometimes Spiritist person in the whole school. So you want to show to them how many Spiritists there are in the United States, in their region. And today, I'm going to talk about the 17th Family Spiritist Retreat. That is going to be an online event, and it's going to be open for everybody in the world. And we already have received some registrations from the United States, of course, but many countries in South America and Europe. So it's going to be an international event. And so Spiritists, young and old, will be able to connect to their peers from other corners of the planet. The organization of the Family Spiritist Retreat itself takes about 6 months. We have ideas, we plan activities for children, for couples, for families together. And it has always been some kind of a challenge because the educators live in different states. So we used to mix meetings in place with remote meetings. So since then, we used free conference calls and go-to meeting, and now we're using Zoom to do our meetings. So when the pandemic was presented to us, the transition to create the event online was very easy because we already kind of trained in technology that way. And since technology and Spiritism are two of my greatest passions, it has been really a pleasant experience to do all of that. There are some surprises, of course, from time to time where we don't get to see the results we want or some technical difficulties, but you're going to see that in the end everything works out. Now, as I said, the theme for our retreat this year is We Are One. And we decided on this theme back in like February, before we had our first confirmed case of COVID-19 in the United States. So it was one of those coincidences that we are already thinking about this topic when we start planning the Family Spiritist Retreat. I remember in our first meetings, we were trying to imagine, let's try to imagine what kind of retreat we want this year. Since we are in a planetary transition, let's try to imagine what a retreat would be like in a regenerative world. And so we planned, and we start saying things like, well, maybe the event could be free. And then this year, because of the pandemic, the event is going to be free. Maybe in the event we could invite people from other places, or we wouldn't. The other thing we said, we wouldn't have one particular team be responsible for all the food. Maybe everybody's going to bring their own food, like a picnic. And this year, because everybody's at home, they'll bring their own food, right, for the event. So many things that we start thinking about are actually happening due to the social distance rules that we are all following these days for our safety and for the safety of our loved ones. And so I'm going to read a message that we chose to represent this idea of we are one, this fraternal union of all the Spiritists and all the peoples of the world. So here is from the book Living Spring. It's the lesson number 49 by Emmanuel, and the medium was Francis Xavier. Fraternal union. Seek to maintain the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. This is the letter of Paul to the Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 3. Thousands of ways are shown to you every time you set your eyes on the distant goal ahead. There are millions of pathways bordering yours. Do not forget the road that is your own and go forward without fear. You would probably like for all other roads to be subordinate to yours, and you see unity as being all travelers gravitating around your steps. But join others without expecting them to join you. Search for what is useful and beautiful, holy and sublime, and press on. The headspring seeks the stream seeks the river, and the river connects to the sea. Let us not forget that spiritual unity is the basic work of peace. Do you see those who devote themselves to children? Do you see friends who dedicate themselves to helping the sick? Do you see the care of those who have made themselves friends of the elderly and the young? Do you see the effort of those who have dedicated themselves to the improvement of the soil or to the training of animals? Do you appreciate the work of those who preach to spread the good? Honor all of them with your gesture of sympathy and serenity, convinced that only the roots of understanding can uphold the tree of fraternal unity, which we all want to be robust and fruitful. Do not think that the others see life the way you see it. Evolution is an infinite stairway. Each one beholds the landscape according to the step on which he or she is standing. War is always the poisonous fruit of violence. The sterile argument is a result of imposition. Fraternal unity is the sublime dream of the human soul. Nevertheless, it will not be achieved unless we respect one another, cultivating harmony in the environment in which we were called to serve. It is only by making every effort to maintain the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace that we will achieve such realization. So it's a beautiful message. It's very poetic at times. And I would like to do an exercise with you as we reflect about this message. I'd like to invite you to do a flashback. You know, in those movies when you go back in time. So let's do a flashback to a few months ago, to the beginning of the pandemic. When we first heard our local authorities issuing lockdown measures and asking us all to stay at home and quarantine. Now, try to go beyond that fear, that panic, right? We are all safe here. And now let's take a few deep breaths, right? To be relaxed. And so we can reach deep into our memories and our feelings. Now, make an effort to recall one of the moments when you realized that something was really important to you. And no, I'm not talking about toilet paper. Go beyond that. Go deeper. Find a time that you found something that for you was really important. Think of the things that you realized are useful for you, or that are beautiful. Think of the things that you realize are holy, brings you a sense of awe, of inspiration, and also the things that are sublime, that inspire noble thoughts, that elevate your feelings, your state of mind. So useful, beautiful, holy, and sublime. This whole situation with the pandemic kind of made us realize what really is important in our life. And Emmanuel is saying that we should be seeking those things. So the fact that we're all home and quarantine kind of quiet down all the noise in our lives, and we start to focus on what's really important. Now, think about the people that are involved in bringing to you those items that are useful. So if you thought about just like a loaf of bread, think how many people were involved in making the bread, putting it in a package, transporting it, selling it, right? Think of all those people. Of course, a feeling of gratitude should kind of permeate us all right now as we think about that. Think of those other public servants, the professionals, the volunteers who dedicated their time and many years of their lives to spreading the good, to bringing things that are really useful, that bring beauty to us, that are inspirational to us, right? We have been focusing on the material goods, but now I want you to start to focus on the spiritual goods, because we need to nourish our souls as much as we nourish our bodies. So go back again, right, at the pandemic, and we're at home with your family, and you start to realize the things that nourish your soul. It could be someone, the presence of someone. It could be a message or a book that you read. So the same way we did for the loaf of bread, right, and the material goods, try to think now of the people who gave to you that spiritual nourishment. Maybe it was a teacher when you were a child. Maybe it was a mentor when you were a young person, right? Maybe you have someone that is an inspiration to you, a role model to you today. Or it could be a book or a movie or music. People that have contributed so that you are the person that you are today. That you are strong, that you can survive well and strive in the pandemic. Now imagine how much good there is in the world. All of these people in all different professions, different ways of life, they're doing their best to bring both the material good but also the spiritual good to all of us. And I think that's kind of the message that Emmanuel is bringing. There's so many millions, thousands of roads of people doing good in the world. And we are put in a particular road, in a particular family, in a particular faith, in a particular country. And that's our road where we're doing our small piece to contribute to the good for the entire planet. So it's just a natural human feeling sometimes to want everyone to walk in the same road that we are walking, to think like we think, to do the things that we do. But if everybody did the same thing, just imagine how many of the good things that exist in the world today would just stop, because we can't do everything. We live in society so that each one can complement each other. So our differences come together to create a bigger common good for all of us. Excuse me. There we go. Yeah. So we liked this message for the retreat because this year, as we open it to the whole planet, we have all these young people from different countries, all these couples, parents, teachers coming together to organize the event. And they're coming together also to participate. So we'll get to learn, to share a little piece of our road with many other people from other roads, and they're coming together like the many streams coming together to a river, which is going to be the Family Spirit Retreat this year. And we're going to get to collaborate, to learn from each other, and then we go back to our roads, to our separate roads. We will each take away with us a piece of the lives and the experience of each other, and we'll be richer because of that. So when we try to understand and you try to join other people who are doing good in the world, when we appreciate the work and we contribute with our sympathy, our serenity, we're building these roots that Emmanuel talks about of fraternity or peace, right? And the roots is what sustains the trunk, and then the branches that will give the fruit. So if you want to build a better world, a more peaceful world, we need to, each of us, be fraternal, be cognizant of all the good that is being done in the world. And that's the message, right, that we wanted to spread, that we are one in this world. We are all brothers and sisters, each one in their individual pathways, doing the best they can. And when you bring the best you can to others, they will respond with the best in them. So we should always try to avoid these sterile arguments, trying to impose our ways, our ideas to others, and instead appreciate the good intentions, right, the good deeds that everyone is doing. All right. So I would like to try to do something here. We have prepared a list of questions and answers because people have been asking us, what is the Family Spirit Retreat? How is it going to be different this year? And we prepared a video to show to you, but we're having difficulties showing it now. I'll try one more time here. But so let's be patient a little bit. Let's see if it works. And if not, then I'm going to do it another way. Okay, let's try that. I don't think it's working. If you can hear, post a comment here. Otherwise, I'll just switch back to what we were doing before. I'll wait another few seconds. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna stop. Yeah, I'm sorry, but we're having this technical difficulties, and we won't be able to show this video now, but we're gonna release it later, and it's going to be available online afterwards, okay? So I'm very sorry that we're having technical difficulties and the video is not being played. So I'm gonna do my best to reproduce some of it, and we'll release the video in another opportunity, okay? So there you go. One of the questions that we get a lot is, what is the Family Spiritist Retreat, right? And when did it start? So I think we said that in the beginning, in 2004, it was a group of educators from New England, so Boston, New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey, that decided to do an event for young people. And then when we realized that, well, the young people are not going to drive themselves to the park, so we then decided to open the event to the whole family, and that's how it started. And usually it's a day in the park. We have used a couple of parks in Connecticut, but the one that we have used the most is the Old Mine Park. Very beautiful, it's a public park, and the day is simply gorgeous, very sunny. Even when it rains, somehow the weather helps, and the event is even more beautiful. And we have many photos from previous events in our website that you can go to check it out. So I hope you are hearing me fine now, right? If you're not hearing me fine, please let me know, and I'll see if I can do anything about it. Now, another question that we get is people who have been to the event every year, right here in New England, they ask, well, is the online event going to be the entire day like we do in the park? And no, the answer is no. We have designed the online event to be very interactive, but it's going to be individual blocks on Saturday and Sunday. And each block will last, approximately 1 hour. Some will last less than 1 hour. And the people will be able to choose whatever blocks they want to participate. So if you are married or you're in a relationship and you want to discuss or study about couples, there will be an event for couples. If you're a teenager, there'll be a block for teenagers on Sunday. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. So we're not going to be the entire day online, except maybe for me, the organizers, right? They need to be in every moment. But people will just participate in the parts that they want to participate, and the blocks will be approximately of 1 hour. Okay. People also want to know the format. Is it going to be lectures? Is it going to be like a movie, or people going to be interactive? And as I said, we're going to be using Zoom for the meetings, Zoom meetings. So it's going to be interactive. You'll be able to see your friends from other retreats that you met in previous years. And you're also going to be able to meet new friends from other countries, from other Spiritist centers that are going to be participating for the first time this year, because it's going to be available for them. So you'll be able to see each other, share. We're going to have moments where people are going to, talk, exchange experiences. It's going to be very interactive, just like the Family Spirit Retreat is interactive. People also ask, well, I can't participate on July 11th and July 12th, which is next weekend. I have other things that I need to do. Can I watch it later? And then the answer is, unfortunately, no. So we want to create a space that is safe for the children, for the families, so they can express themselves, share themselves freely without having to worry about being exposed on the internet for the whole world, right? So we are going to have these closed meetings in Zoom, and we're not going to broadcast on YouTube or Facebook. It's going to be a family reunion, just like you do with your family in your birthdays, this kind of things. The next question is, people want to know if they have to register and how they can register. And the answer is yes, you need to register, because only the people who register will receive the link with the Zoom meeting and password. The way we're going to do this is, when you register, you're going to get, in a few days, I believe, we're going to send an email with a link to a WhatsApp group and a link to a Facebook private group. And those groups are always our channel to get in touch with you, so we can give information about the event, the links for the meetings, the password, any documents that you need to read to participate, any links we want to share. So we'll be communicating with you through this WhatsApp group or Facebook group until the day of the event. And then a few hours before the event, we're going to release the links so people can join online. Okay? So if you registered, keep an eye out for the email that you're going to receive in a few days. We will update you on the website, on our YouTube channel. We're going to let everybody know when the emails are out, so you can look for it in your inbox or maybe in your spam folder, right? So be on the lookout for that. Now, it's very easy to register. You can register online. It's free. There's no cost. So you just need to go to www.familyspiritistretreat.org. When you log there, you'll be able to see the program and all the different blocks, and then you can choose which blocks you want to participate. So if you want to participate in 2 blocks, you register for those 2, and you give your information so you know how many people are joining. We also added in the registration the option, like, what language do you prefer? And you can select 1, 2, or 3 languages. We're going to offer English, Portuguese, and Spanish. All of the blocks of the Family Spirit Retreat are going to be in 3 languages. So you have some people helping us translate, and we'll count on the people who are participating to translate for us some of the things as well. I hear that the teenagers, instead of creating separate Zoom rooms for them to speak in different language, they want to be all mixed in, and this way they will kind of translate and communicate the best way they can. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch that. So what else? People want to know, yes, about the program, all these different blocks, right? How are they going to work? So on Saturday, July 11th at 1 p.m., we have our first block, and it's called Welcome World. And there, just like in the park, we're going to welcome everyone. We're going to do our initial prayer. And then there's going to be some interviews, some fun, where the coordinators will come and explain what to expect during the day. And we also have some very special guests. These are spiritists, health care professionals, so doctors and nurses, that are going to share with us their experience during the pandemic and how their faith in spiritism helped them at that time, right, and until today. So this is going to be a very nice piece of the opening that we want to bring to everybody. So after that, so 1 p.m. we have the Welcome World. Then at 3 p.m., we have an activity that we're calling Family Fun. And this is going to be like in Brazil, people say gincana. So there'll be a series of games and tasks that we are going to provide to your family that you can do on that Saturday, or you can do them throughout the summer. There'll be lots of good ideas of activities that you can do with your family outside in nature when it's appropriate to do so, right? So you'll be able to have these games, these activities with you all the time. And at 3 p.m., these families will come together and we're going to do something fun with them. That will be a chance to do a scavenger hunt, which is a big favorite among children and even teenagers like that. There will be a moment, even a magic trick that we're planning to people kind of understand the message of the event in another way. And we're going to have opportunity to families to meet and share what kind of games they played when they're kids in different countries. So you have this game as well. So it's going to be a moment for families to share that experience with other families from different places. And I hear there is going to be a special guest at this time that the kids really, really are going to love. So be on the lookout for that. So we have our family fun at 3 p.m. and then at 5 p.m. we have another event that we are calling the tent time. This the tent time is just like when you were a child. Remember creating a tent with sheets, right? Bed sheets, or maybe you have a tent, a camping tent. So we're gonna ask everybody to build a tent in their living room if necessary. Go in with your laptop or iPad and sit down for a great story. And I hear also that Spider-Man will show up, but you need to be there on time because Spider-Man will be in the beginning only at 5, and then you're off to a great adventure listening to this story from these great storytellers that are our teachers in our Spiritism class for young people and teens. And they will be there doing also the programming in 3 languages. So there'll be a room for English, a room for Spanish, and a room for Portuguese, so the children can be more comfortable in their own language. Okay, so now we're going towards the end of the day on Saturday. The idea is whoever has children in the house, they put them to bed, and then at 9 p.m. the couples come in, log in their computers, and there will be a moment for them to talk about relationships. We have a psychologist from Brazil who has been working with couples for decades, and she is going to bring something very interesting: how couples communicate and how we express our love for each other. And it's going to be dynamic and at night, so hopefully the house is more silent and you'll be able to enjoy a moment together with your loved one. Even if you're not married, you're not in a relationship, but you want to learn about it because you're thinking about getting married someday, this could be an event for you. Okay, so we're going to open this for everyone. It's going to be Saturday at 9 p.m. So that's the last activity on Saturday. Then we move on to Sunday. And at 1 p.m., we have our first block on Sunday. That block on Sunday is called Healing Heroes. And it is the way we found to express our gratitude for the courage of the first responders, their resignation in their work and all they do with care and with a lot of love. So we are going to ask people who have some artistic talent to either create a poem or a song or something to express this beautiful feeling of appreciation. So this is going to be Sunday at 1 p.m. And then at 3 p.m., from 3 to 5 p.m., we have what we are calling the Teens Talk. And this is very dear to our hearts. The response that we got from reaching out to Spiritist centers, in other countries, the number of teens that send us questions they would like to have answered in the retreat. We got more than 60 questions from more than 12 different countries in maybe 5 or 6 languages. And it was very interesting to observe that feedback that we got. And we, so this moment, they will be able to be with other teams. And as I said, the language is going to be mixed, and we're going to break out in smaller groups so that they can interact a little more, right? In a smaller room, they have more freedom to talk and to ask questions and to be heard and to share their experiences. How is the Spiritist movement like in their countries? So this is going to be a very interesting part of the retreat, one of the highlights of the weekend. And then after that, we go to our closing. So we are calling it the Now What? And that's going to be at 6 p.m. And all the times that I'm saying here are Eastern time, local time. So this is New York time. If you're in Brazil, it's going to be 1 hour later. So instead of 6 p.m., it's going to be at 19 o'clock or 7 p.m. If you are in, I don't know, Colombia, it's going to be 1 hour behind. So instead of 6 p.m., it's going to be 5 p.m. And if you are like in London, it's going to be at 11 p.m., almost midnight, right? Because they are 5 hours ahead. So all our times that we talk about here is New York time, Eastern time. In the closing, we are going to review how the weekend went. We're going to share some of the highlights that we had. We're going to have a special surprise for you, someone who is going to close it for us and give her perspective on the Spiritist movement at a global level. And it will be an interesting moment for us all to reflect and to acknowledge the participants without whom we would not have the retreat. And we are very happy and glad to see more than 200 people already registering, or more than 200 registrations. Sometimes the same people that register in more than one event. So let's say 100 to 200 people already registered. And this last week, we are hoping to see, another 200 join, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. So if you're listening to this and you got excited and want to participate with the teams, or you want to participate in the couples activity, or you are an artist and you like to create something, or maybe you're not an artist, but you have so much gratitude that you want to express to the world right now, all the positive things that the pandemic brought to us, right? We know that it is a terrible thing to have a disease where we have to be locked down, but we understand that being the planet Earth, a planet of trials and atonements, that is just something that is necessary for all of us to create the moral transformation that we all need. So the planetary transition is not going to come as a cataclysm, as a end of the world kind of thing. What the spirits and our Master Jesus have for us in our plan is a moral transformation, is a changing values, what is important to us, right? And to create this world of fraternity, where people are each other's brothers and each other's sisters, and we look after one another, and we're spreading the good and striving to do the best we can. So if you are interested, if you are excited, if you really want to meet other Spiritist souls around the planet, this is the event for you. Go to www.familyspiritistretreat.org, find the blogs you're most interested in, register, and then share with your friends in social media so they can also participate. And as I said, we're going to be releasing other videos in our social media platforms. You can look us up in Facebook, you can look us up in YouTube, Instagram, and in all of these channels, we're going to be sending out these announcements for you, okay? Now, I really would like to express our gratitude to the team at Kardec Radio, our friend Vanessa Anceloni. She has been a good friend. She has been to the Family Spirit Retreat before, in the beginning. She has always provided us this support. And as we said before, there's many streams of people doing good in the world. It's the fraternity of our movements that will, by an overwhelming force of goodness, transform the planet into a planet of generation. So we thank you all for listening. We congratulate our friends at Kardec Radio for their 9th anniversary, and we wish you 9 more at least. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, a wonderful day. Happy 4th, and may God bless us all. So be it.